Thank you, Big Boss.
Call me Snake.
Oh, sorry, Vic Boss.
Listen up. For us, there is no victory.
But in Revolution, doesn't one triumph or die?
We don't do either.
Welcome back everyone to part 2 of Core Identity featuring Big Boss. We've covered the origin story of this legendary hero, but the question still remains. How did he become a villain? Now, this episode will be structured a little more oddly as Big Boss's story wasn't particularly important to the overall plot in Peace Walker, and of course there's the huge plot reveal at the end of The Phantom Pain. If you don't like spoilers, here's your warning, because this video is going to be full of them. The boss's death in Snake Eater was one of the most important points of the story. Naked Snake, now Big Boss, looked up to her as a role model, and she inspired many others during duty, including Major Zero. Major Zero and Snake had both decided to carry on the boss's will, although each of them had different ideas on what that actually meant. Zero thought the boss wanted the world united, and using this as his motivation he funded the Patriots, a top-secret organization that plotted to control the world through money, information, and legislation. So basically they were Kojima's version of the Illuminati. As for Big Boss, he created MSF, a private military corporation along with Kazuhita Miller.
I understand that you and your men have neither state nor ideology. That you will fight any foe. Please, you must drive them out of our defenseless country. We come to you, the Militaires Sans Frontières.
MSF was a French acronym that stood for Militaires Sans Frontières, which directly translated to Soldiers Without Borders. I wonder why Kojima wanted to use French though.
Dexter! French is the language of love. Oh, say it again, Dexter. Omelette de fromage.
This is where the events of Peace Walker took place. It was a game for the PSP, and so it was rather light in terms of plot that affected the overarching story. It basically featured Snake running around and doing odd things, like taking underage girls out on dates and praising Kojima.
Leave it. Kojima is God. Kojima is God.
Can this game get any weirder?
Gently, carefully, she rubbed the lotion all over my entire body.
Kojima, you pervert. Anyway, the plot itself is heavy in detail, but all you really need to know regarding Big Boss is that MSF grew in power over the years, eventually being able to create its own nuclear weapons, and yes, its own Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, Metal Gear, Metal Gear, Metal Gear, Metal Gear.
Big Boss wanted to create MSF as a haven for soldiers, where they wouldn't be used as tools of the government. To do so, he needed to amass power, and to be seen as a world threat, he built Metal Gear Zeke. You can imagine at this point that the legendary hero Big Boss is actually starting to lose his marbles a bit. Eventually, Peace Walker is defeated, and Big Boss returns to MSF as a hero, only that he was betrayed by a girl named Paz. These were the events that began Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain. Alright, so the plot of Phantom Pain. I think Kojima was a bit hamstrung by his other titles, as it seemed like he was just trying to fill in all the plot holes in between Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4. The main baddie, which was named Skullface, never appeared in any other Metal Gear game.
Wouldn't you agree? We both are demons. Our humanity won't return. You, me, we've no place to run. Nowhere to hide. And that is why I'll show you my demon. Follow me, Big Boss!
And a lot of things Big Boss didn't make any sense. Or was it actually Big Boss? The current situation as the Phantom Pain starts is this. MSF was destroyed as it was attacked by XOF agents, a rival military group in direct opposition to Fox. Remember guys, that Fox was the original group that Big Boss worked for in Operation Snake Eater. Snake himself was hit in a helicopter and actually went into a coma for 9 whole years. During that 9 years, Big Boss's DNA was taken, and clones of him were created, who would be known as Solid and Liquid Snake.
I asked to serve as the surrogate mother, and was more than happy to carry you in my womb. I loved him. 9 months later, I gave birth to 2 Big Bosses, you and Liquid.
More on that later. In the opening scene of the game, you're met with a guy named Ishmael.
Who are you? Who am I? You're talking to yourself. Been watching over you for 9 years. You can call me Ishmael.
who we later find out was the actual big boss.
Here. That's your name as of today. You best change your face, too. Now this one, he'll take your place. From here on, he's Snake. He believes it, too.
My very own Phantom, huh?
Boss, the whole world wants your head. Don't worry, he can handle it.
You simply play as a body double, known as Venom Snake. Venom Snake, as it turns out, was actually just a medic from MSF. Although you gotta wonder how a random medic could fill in the shoes of Big Boss. Anyway, while Venom Snake is busy creating Outer Heaven and going the real Big Boss took over Foxhound in order to secretly protect Venom Snake's Outer Heaven. Big Boss, in order to disguise himself as a good guy, actually sent in a rookie Solid Snake, secretly his son, to destroy Outer Heaven. Only there was a problem. Solid Snake was a total badass, and he actually managed to kill Venom Snake and destroy Outer Heaven. Big Boss had to go back into hiding now, and for the third time he created his own military haven, this time known as Zanzibar Land. Solid Snake was sent in again, and this time defeated the real Big Boss, thus becoming a hero even greater than Big Boss himself. Big Boss's story doesn't end here though, as his body was preserved by the Patriots, and he did come back to have a final talk with the rapidly aging Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4.
It's funny. Now that I'm actually face to face with him again, the hatred is gone. All I feel is a deep sense of longing and pity. Did Zero really hate me? Or did he fear me? The original members, Paramedic, Sigint, Eva, Ocelot. They've all passed on.
Now that we've gone over the important details of Big Boss's story, we can move on to who he was as a character and what truly makes him great. Stay tuned for part 3 of Core Identity, where I'll be covering that and more. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give a like and subscribe to be notified when I have new content. Thanks for watching.
Ever since the day I killed the boss with my own hands, I was already dead. Oh.